Okay, we're just having a look at a IC551D, and this came from a good mate of mine up in Young, New South Wales, and don't worry about the display, how it's doing that. That's just the camera effect. I'm just trying to see how you everything change angles, or you're just gonna have to trust me. It's not flashing. Anyway, not sure why the camera does that, but excuse me. These were a nice radio because they certainly were a nice committed 6-meter radio that you just basically sat next to your, whether you had the 720 or HF equivalent. Excuse me. Oh, that hurt. I'm still suffering from some cracked ribs at the moment, so don't mind me if I sort of make noise like a pain or something. Anyway, really good condition, this thing. Look at it. It is clean, and very hard to find stuff like this as clean. To be honest, it's not too bad at all. Let's have a look at it. I'm on the because we're going to be doing a bit of sideband. I thought we'd come up and use the IFR and have a bit of a look at, see what we could resolve. And what have we got here? Gonna have a look at what I'm set up at for what we did last. I'll put it on. I'll probably 15 watts. What were these things? Hello 1 2. Hello 1 2. Hello 1 2. Hang on. I think I might go to over there. I'll just get. Oh, hang on. I've got to set something up here. I see the problem. So it might help if I put this lead on properly, and also put my analyzer in the right. 1 2 3 4 5. 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 4 5. And we're definitely seeing 15 odd watts there easily. So yeah, that's transmitting very nicely. 1 2 3 4 5. 1 2. I'm not resolving that very well at the moment, but that's not unusual for the for the 1200S at times. Sometimes you'll find go to upper sideband and just go back to 100. 1 2 3. Oh, it's a little bit. No, it's still not great. I'd have to sit there and play with the generator lock. What you can do with these things is sit there and try and bring in the sideband. But one hand, it's going to be 1 2. Hang on, I need 2 hands for this. And I gave up on that because no matter how much I tried, I could try one other thing actually. Let me try something else. I was actually playing around with the IFR frequency, but what I should have done is possibly we'll go lower sideband. Let's just play around with the actual transmit frequency, see if we can tie it up to the IFR. Hang on. I can see my problem. Yeah, no, I'm right on the verge. I'm actually running, didn't realise this. These things are about 70, 80 watts. 1 2, hello 1 2. Hello 1 2. We're on the 150 watt range there. Hello. Definitely peaking about 80 watts. So we are really overloading that front end. That's, if I turn that down a bit, I probably could see us resolve that sideband a bit better. But anyway, I'm not so worried about that. What I'm more curious about is the receiver. I want to know how well does it hear squelches off, passband, churn rate, etc., etc. Let's have a look. Let's put a bit of, well, not even a lot. Let's put a little bit, a real little bit. Yeah, okay. Now I may just have to readjust this slightly. Let's just on lower. I can hear it. I've got no tone at the moment. Why am I not got my tone on? Oh, it's going to be a day for it, isn't it? Hang on, we'll fix that. Yeah, it's my monitor again. I should have used this one. I've been using this so much faultlessly. Anyway. Okay, much better. Now we're putting in just over 0.5 a microvolt. Let's take that down. Oh, not going to go down much more. 0.2 there. 0.5's coming in just nicely. And bear in mind we're on sideband. Bloody tone. I'm just playing around my tone here. I think my cat's been in here playing around my monitor. There's a few knobs and dials on here that I'm going, what is going on here? It's oh, I see the problem. try that. As my service mod. Sorry, it was me. That one, I was over here, which of course is going to be all over the place. So on the IFR, I was trying to resolve sideband earlier, but yeah, so basically back to a stable single tone. Wondering what was going on there. I'm just setting that up a bit. Yeah, okay, that'll do. Alright, so that's, yeah, right on 0.5 microvolt there. And that's receiving that noise free, actually. Now we've got this generator lock thing sorted out. Jeez, I tell you what, I'm getting old. Now that's receiving right down into the noise there beautifully. And obviously, as you can see, as we start pumping it up, now we're up to about 20 microvolts. 50 microvolts should be about S9. Look at that. Tell you what, that's not too far off. 50 microvolts S9 was what we sort of want to see on these things. So this is sort of like it came out of the factory. Good on you, Phil. This is actually a really good one. I've got to say, and I wasn't expecting it to be perfect because, you know, these radios are a little bit older, but geez, what about we do something like get rid of that? Okay, so we've ascertained that the thing's got 80 watts output. It's got a brilliant receiver on it. I'm impressed. The only thing this one's missing, which is a little bit of a problem, not a problem, but look, I'm not an FM fanatic on 6 meters. I'm 5110, that's it. A lot of the guys are data these days, sure. But this one, as you can see, no FM board in there. You can get an FM board for it. That's not impossible, but this one doesn't have an FM board. And you never know what I might find around the place. Anyway, but for the moment, we're just going to show you this in the state that it's in. Now, just half this video has been me having to set up my IFR because I've become so used to this 2945B, which honestly, look, you can be as dumb as dog shit, and this IFR 2945B is so easy to operate. It's so auto everything. It's just, you know, just hit buttons, you know, hit there, look and listen, blah blah blah, you know, sort of just put in your frequency, scale it around. Look, this lovely, look, very nice. Nothing against the IFR 1200S here, nothing at all. Now, who can notice what's missing? Of course, and I'm missing it. I'm going to admit this. I am missing my R2001. It's gone to a great home. He's a great guy, and you know, like, I truly love him heaps. And you know, sort of, unfortunately, I can't like send out a hitman to get my monitor back or anything because he's that good a mate. You know, sort of. Not that we're in the, you know, we don't normally do that, but well, I got to say, yeah. But that's where the R2001 used to sit. And it's going to sit on someone else's bench. I'll let him tell you, you know, when he wants to. But he's a very prolific VK2, and there's not much he hasn't got. Ooh, is that giving the game away? That could still be a few people, couldn't it? But this guy's really got some good stuff anyway. But I was really glad when he bought the 2001 because, number one, I've got, you know, so much remembrance and usage of it, and there's so much history. It's just something. We sent him the extra tube as well to go with it. Actually did that as a separate transport just to make sure that had a half a chance of getting through. It's the only thing that ever worries me with sending freighting test equipment to anybody who ever buys test equipment from us. We'll always do our best to pack it, but you know, we just never know with Australia Post. But one thing we do, we don't even ask you, I'm sorry to say this, we insist that you get insurance, and my buyer, who's a great mate of mine, thought it was a pretty smart idea to put insurance on it too, so thank God for that, eh? Alright, so why buy one of these? Well, number one, they're not huge amounts of money, okay? Number two, they're very collectible. The 551D, and you can get the 2 meter series, and look, I've got them all here, and I've got to be honest, this is even a secondary unit to another one that I've got with books, etc. Anyway, but I will say my memory on them had sort of gone a bit vague, and I think that's because I'm just so sort of off and on at the moment health-wise, and I know I keep blaming my health. I hate doing that, but I've got to tell you, some of these bloody drugs and things. Yeah, I know when my memory's not working so well. I know when, like right now, I know I am reasonably astute. Now, the usage of my monitor 5 minutes ago, you may question that. Anyway, you'd probably be right. But the IC551D, I haven't, put one on the bench for a very long time. And for some silly reason, I was thinking this was the QRP version. Who would think this is the QRP version with a heatsink this big that looks like it's come off a TS120S or something, it's chunky. It's really chunky. So, no, that's it's definitely very, very good in what it can do power-wise. It's very good. All right, so what else did I like about them? They had a lot of drive on that. Let me just show you how much drive. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. Now you might say, well, that's lovely, but actually I wish I've got to reset up the buffer. Normally we had that set up buffered off to show you. So even though I'm saying I'll show you some great audio that comes off this thing, I'm not actually set up beautifully to do that at the moment. I can sort of show you something through the service monitor, but it's a bit... These piddly screens don't really show it as nicely as you'd like to. But anyway, trust me, they really do have some really good drive. And the fact that I've had forgotten that these things went all the way up to 80 watts versus, what did I say, 15 watts, jeez. For a sideband radio, they were stable. You could, sit there on 5110. I won't even, well, you know what, just for the hell of it. And from memory, what they have, was that... one of these made it go faster. Oh, that one did. Yeah. Sorry. So what was that one? Can't remember. I have to look that one up. Anyway, they had a lock, so you could actually leave it on 5110. If your cat comes along, like I seem to have problems with, I'm blaming the cat for this. I don't know how the cat would get there. If I showed you what the cat did to my keyboard the other day, and I'm talking not keyboard for a computer, I'm talking about a $4,000 beautiful keyboard that I run in my music room. It got on one end of it, and on the stand, it upended the thing. Anyway. Oh, and then it hit one of my Takamine guitars, which I've owned since 92. It's a 92 limited edition. Hits that guitar, puts a small scratch on it. I've managed since 1992, since I had that new, to not... cats. Anyway, love the cats. Love the cats. Maybe not for much longer. Okay, AGC, sort of handy, to be honest. Depending on what you're doing with the 551D, if you're... sitting there on sideband and you want to just sort of listen into the noise a bit more. Noise blankers were very good on these things, no question about that. The old school stuff, I don't know, I still think they had better noise blankers, but anyway. RIT control, which of course indicates there, and then basically gives you left and right of the frequency, just on receive only, then you can just switch it off. It's a momentary switch there. Had a lot of ways of doing split frequencies, etc., which was more sort of handy, obviously, for the FM board, if you were to have that in there, etc., to use that. And see, this was another thing too. These primarily, even though and this was the thing, FM was an option on these things. You could order it without FM. A lot of people didn't want FM on their 6-meter radio because they bought these to be specifically DX weapons on 5110. And hang on, 50. 50. What am I doing here? I've got the lock on. All right. 5110. There you go. I feel better about that. You're still seeing that flashing display, aren't you? It's driving you mental. It drives me mental when I look at the screen, but not so bad when I look at the radio. Anyway, but look, great, sort of big brick these things are. And if you were looking for a 6-meter radio, excuse me, and you're going to spend the small hundreds of dollars, small, seriously, not anything huge, and you're going to get a lot of value for the radio for that, then the 551D is a really good model to think about. They really are. So anyway, look, this I can't tell you what's happening with this at the moment because I don't even know myself, but we are going to end up with 2 of them, so I suppose one of them will end up going, but I just haven't worked all that out just yet, which is not unusual around this place. But I'll tell you what, I love that power output. 1, 2, 3. Hollow, 1, 2, hollow, 1, 2, hollow. Yeah, they do all right, don't they? Let me just look something up. I've got to know this. And this button here, this was the memory start stop button. As you can see, I'm sort of setting 50.110 51. Anyway, so pointless. No, not pointless. I didn't say that. Let's take it off memory scan again. Oh, there you go. Now I'm on memory scan. It's because I've done something stupid here. Don't need to do that. Do that. Right. Okay. So yes, I mean, you can have a memory scan. You can have an come back down here. Let's put the TS on so we go down faster. And see, without the TS off, of course, you know, going in tenths versus, there we go, 1 kilohertz. Much faster. Still not staggeringly fast. Anyway, 5110. Yeah, so they do have those sort of functions. Once again, I don't think it's one that people bought this radio for, because by the looks of it, you had 3 memories. Is that right? Is that true? 3 memories? Yeah, looks like 3 memories. 3 memories. Yeah, okay, well, there you go. You could put 5110 in there, maybe whatever. So, you know what? That even identifies even more that I don't think they built this radio to be the FM work repeaters around the United States type of radio. This was built to be a 6 meter, geez, I'm going to be right, 6 meter sideband radio that gave you, you know, incredible performance. And with 80 watts, let's face it, a lot of people were buying 60 to 80 watt amps back in the day, using their 505s and different, you know, all the little small 6 meters. Well, this is the way to do it without having to have an amp, you know. We'll draw a bit of current. What sort of current does it draw? Good question. 1, 2, 3. Hollow. At 10 plus amps. I got a feeling that wasn't quite peaking as much as it could have. Anyway, might be my power supply, not. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, I would have thought on a peak, 80 watts, probably 12, 13 amps, something like that. I'm guessing a bit. Anyway, all right. IC551D, great radio. I'll look out for it. It might come up soon. I'm not sure. We'll see what happens. But thought just for Uncle Phil, be nice to get it up on a monitor and just have a quick look at it. And should have used this monitor. I really should have. I like this one so much, and I want to get my bloody money's worth because it was not cheap. Nothing's cheap these days, guys. If you realise that, it's crazy. Nothing is cheap. Anyway, except one of these. There you go. These are cheap. These are good. These are hundreds, not thousands. Low hundreds, not thousands. Low 200-300, not thousands. I don't know. I'm guessing. All right, 73s, guys. Have fun, and we'll get a few more videos up over the next day or two. I've got a few we want to get out of the way, just to show you a little bit of the stuff that's sitting around on my benches at the moment. I'm not even going to show you my benches because the last time you saw photos, they were so clean. They're not too bad, but I'm obviously a bit embarrassed if I'm not showing you them. So clean up time again. Cheers all. 73s. Oh, last thing. Don't forget, the bloody, what am I talking about? The giveaway. The TalkPod giveaway. Yeah, please. There's about 50 of you in for the entry so far, and that's great. One of you is going to win one of these things. So, yeah, don't forget. What am I talking about? This thing. Yeah. We'll be doing that end of the month. So Sam's got that all organised on how the winner gets drawn. And all you people sending me a message to say, hey, I've been your best mate, I should win this. Yeah, I don't have any control over this. That'll be Sam. And she is so strict on everything. So, I don't know. Well, you know what? I don't care. Whether the winner's in Uganda or whether they're in Melbourne or wherever, we're happy to ship it and to send it over to somebody. So it's all a bit of fun. All right. All the best, guys. Cheers.